Now, you've written an excellent piece. This is a while back, but I was reminded of it this week, on Donald Trump and diplomacy, noting that despite the vitriol that Trump is subjected to, particularly in terms of his approach to foreign policy, he was actually hugely effective and successful in that arena. You wrote, the key rule of diplomacy is that it is most needed when dealing with one's rivals, not one's friends. Unfortunately, in the age of virtue signalling, this rule has been largely forgotten by Western rulers. And we're seeing the impact of that, Ralph. We're seeing such a weak Biden administration and all sorts of consequences from that weakness and uncertainty.
And I think Donald Trump understood something about diplomacy very well. When you go into negotiations in public, you charm your opponent. Remember, he's the best friend of Kim Jong-Un and he understands Putin. You're charming, you're nice to your opponent. And behind closed doors, that's when you run a hard bargain. And Joe Biden did it exactly the opposite, right? Joe Biden went out and said, the Saudi Arabians, they're a thug regime. Now, if you go into negotiations and you humiliate your potential negotiating partner in public, they will then drive a hard bargain with you behind closed doors, which is exactly what the Saudis, for example, did with the Biden administration. The kind of foreign policy as it was conducted by the Biden administration was the worst I have seen in my lifetime, which is probably not that long. And compared to Trump, it is a C administration or an F administration compared to an A administration. Now, I will grant Trump one thing. I don't think that he's the kind of, Metternich or Talleyrand strategist of the 19th century, but I think he intuitively grasps how to negotiate with if the other guy is the guy on the other side is a tough individual. Because don't forget, he was a real estate developer in New York. So say about the man what you want.
That's where his strength is, negotiation.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Ralph Schoellhammer, thank you so much for your time this evening.
Anytime, Rita.